Welcome back to The Explainer. Today we're going to talk about something that's kind of like a new user interface for your brain. It's a simple but super powerful technique from Scott Adams' book, Reframe Your Brain, that can genuinely help you find more happiness and success. Let's get into it. Okay, so let's just jump right in with this. It's a simple, almost shockingly effective reality hack that can totally rewire a habit you might have had for your entire life. So, check this out. The usual way we think about alcohol, it's a beverage, right? A drink. But the reframe is just 3 words. Alcohol is poison. Now, just by repeating that phrase, Adams says thousands of people completely lost their interest in social drinking. I mean, the thought of drinking poison, it just changes the whole vibe, doesn't it? But how is that even possible, right? How can a few simple words have such a huge impact on our behavior? Well, this one example is amazing because it pulls back the curtain on a technique you can use to pretty much reprogram your own mind for way better outcomes. And this technique, it's called reframing. And really, at its core, it's all about changing the story you tell yourself on the inside. You're basically just swapping out a story that holds you back for one that actually helps you out. It's that simple. So the author, Scott Adams, he actually kind of stumbled onto this whole idea because of his dog Snickers. He'd get super frustrated trying to walk her, because all she wanted to do was stop and sniff every single thing. And for him, every single walk just felt like a total failure. So, what did he do? Instead of seeing it as failing to take his dog for a walk, he reframed it. He started seeing it as succeeding at taking his dog for a sniff. And just like that, the exact same activity went from being a huge annoyance to a daily win. Absolutely nothing changed in the real world, only the story in his head. And he didn't just stop there. Think about something we all hate, waiting in line. It feels like such a waste of time, doesn't it? Well, the reframe is, this is a perfect chance to practice my breathing. And all of a sudden, those boring, mindless moments, they become these little productive opportunities to lower your stress and actually boost your energy. All right, so this all sounds pretty cool, right? But the big question is, how do you actually make these new stories stick? How do you go from just a neat idea to actually rewiring your brain? Well, the technique itself is surprisingly simple. It really just boils down to 2 things: focus and repetition. You have to consciously focus on the new frame, and then you repeat it in your head over and over and over again until it completely overrides the old programming. And then it just becomes your new default setting. And here's something that's absolutely crucial to get. The reframe doesn't need to be like technically or philosophically true. It just needs to work for you. I mean, is alcohol literally poison in the same way cyanide is? Well, no, not exactly. But it doesn't matter because your brain processes fiction just as powerfully as it processes fact. That's why a movie can make you cry, right? It's the same principle. Okay, so let's take this idea and build it out into a whole mental toolkit with some powerful upgrades you can start using like today. All right, here's a big one. We're all taught to set goals, right? But think about it. With a goal, you're pretty much living in a state of failure until you finally hit it. A much better way to go is to focus on systems. These are the things you do every single day that improve your odds of success. So if your system is to exercise daily, guess what? You get to feel like a winner every single day you do it. You're building momentum instead of just frustration. What about when you're feeling bored? The usual frame is, ugh, something's missing from my life. But what if boredom isn't a bad thing? What if it's actually a signal? A little alarm telling you it's time to take some smart risks and maybe embarrass yourself a little bit. Go ask someone out. Ask for that big raise. Try something new that you know you're going to be terrible at first. That little risk of embarrassment, it's the fastest way out of boredom and straight into growth. And this one, oh, this is a big one, imposter syndrome. That nagging feeling that you're a total fraud and everyone else has it all figured out. Instead of comparing yourself to all these seasoned experts out there, just compare yourself to, well, to the you from yesterday. Focus on how much you're learning, how fast you're growing. It completely flips the script on that feeling. And you want to know a secret? Everyone feels like this. Seriously, Adams talks about his experience with CEOs, top scientists, billionaires, and he says everybody is faking it at least some of the time. So feeling like an imposter, it often just means you're pushing your boundaries. And that is exactly where all the growth happens. So what does all this show? It shows the incredible power you have. This stuff isn't just about playing clever word games. These are actual tools you can use to literally sculpt your own experience of the world. So I'll leave you with this question to think about. What is the smallest, most annoying thing in your life that you can reframe, starting today? Because the ultimate takeaway here is that your brain isn't some fixed piece of hardware. Nope. You are the programmer, and your thoughts, that's the code. And with the right reframe, you can give yourself a massive operating system upgrade for a much happier and more successful life.